Hello sir, welcome to Banking News. Just share me your experience in global fintech festivals.
So I think the main concept behind this is to bringing different parties, different fintechs, the banks, the entire ecosystem around the world together. So because we must understand that it's no more a domestic network. It's all interconnected, and people travel about, and the businesses happen across many countries and many jurisdictions. So how do we move money in a seamless manner across these different jurisdictions? And they have different countries, sovereign countries, different regulations, different domestic networks, and fintechs, and banks and NBFIs, in different markets. And the challenge is, a consumer from one country wants to have the same experience of a domestic transaction cross border when they visit another country. So how do we, but it's easier said than done, because these are across multiple networks, different legal jurisdictions, different regulations, and how do we make it to work so that a consumer or a business have the same experience, the seamless experience from a digital perspective to carry out this. So I think the main concept is working together, make sure that we minimize the complexities, and also have that same seamless nature for people to do transactions. That is where this is coming together and collaborating and partnering with multiple entities, countries, central banks together. So I think that the Global Fintech Festival is bringing everybody together, and a dialogue, a monologue, multilateral connections, and setting up partnerships. I think it's a great event. So that we actually can go into a seamless world in the future. We may not have it right now, but I think that the objective is to make it for the consumers as well as the businesses as seamless as possible.
As you were a panelist in cross-border payments, and then you just speak about the money laundering security, payment security, and then all these seamless challenges.
Yeah.
You have you already discussed on that session as well. How you see that technical difficulties, security, cyber security threats to make the cross-border payment, that is you felt as a challenges?
Always I think the security is a challenge, whether it's domestic or international, because always the fraudsters will be one step ahead of the regular folk, right? Because they will be probably one step ahead in technology as well. So I think the bigger picture is, how do we collaborate to minimize this, right? If we partner and collaborate, then we actually take actions collectively to minimize these frauds and other sort of cybersecurity activities, so that we minimize the possibility of a fraud or a cybersecurity threat, right? Because no single entity, no single country would be able to sustain on their own. It's now a globally connected network. Exactly. So what we are doing is, we are actually collaborating on standards, on security and other mechanisms, and sort of a joint and multilateral effort to bring in mechanisms so that it doesn't, at least we are conscious. So cybersecurity is one, then there's money laundering and other areas as well. But there are technology solutions that actually can address some of these issues. So as long as we bring them in together into this complexity and minimize the possibility of a cybersecurity threat or a money laundering or a terrorism financing, I think we are much better off than, because in the standard world also this happens, right? Whether it's physically done or digitally done, it will happen in the future as well. It will happen. But I think, how do we minimize? Because we have sufficient technologies coming up, emerging technologies coming up to minimize this.
Okay.
So I think the main issue is, how do we partner, work with fintechs, the technology companies, to bring this together and minimize this threat.
Thank you. And then let's move forward. That you have already signed the MOU with Nepal's one of the biggest fintech company, PhonePe,
Yes.
For cross-border transactions,
Yes.
right? What is the status, and where you guys have reached on that to do the transaction?
Yeah, so I think from a technology perspective, there are no challenges. So integration part. Yeah. So I think there are certain approvals and regulatory requirements that we are fulfilling right now. Yeah. So once those are completed, the approvals are gone through, we can actually go live. So I think from a connectivity perspective, it's fairly straightforward.
So you are waiting for the approval of Nepal Central Bank or Sri Lanka Central Bank?
Both sides, actually, both sides, because I think the central banks have to come together, and because obviously PhonePe is a PSO licensed by the Central Bank of Nepal, so I don't see any issue of them integrating with others. So we are just there are some legalities that they are checking across the jurisdictions from a central bank perspective. Once that is full through, we actually should be able to connect. I mean, there's no issue because the central banks have also, Nepal has issued guidance that licensed operators in Nepal can actually, just like in UPI or India, can connect with others. So I think once those are ironed out, it's a matter of time.
Then how long it will take in your thoughts that to do the cross-border payments from Sri Lanka to Nepal, Nepal to Sri Lanka?
So as soon as the regulatory approvals are given, it's almost immediate. Within a month or two, we should be able to go live.
Okay.
So technical, there's no issue. It's just a matter of once we have the approvals.
So it means you are just waiting for the approval of from Nepal side, Nepal's Rashtra Bank, and then Sri Lanka's Central Bank, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And then Mr. Channa, thank you for your time, and then all the best. I hope very soon we will be able to pay cross-border through Nepal, through the digital or QR kind of things.
Yes, let's hope so, and that's our effort, and that's our plan also. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you.